Welcome to another TBN review. I'm Sam Mintz, and in this video I'm going to help you answer the question, should you play Trek to Yomi? Be sure to subscribe for weekly videos and head over to thebetanetwork.net for more gaming news and reviews. Trek to Yomi revolves around Hiroki, a former student of a samurai master, who must protect his small village at all costs. However, when he leaves for the sake of vengeance, his whole world turns upside down. The narrative in Trek to Yomi is easily its greatest strength. Watching Hiroki battle with the pain of his past decisions and attempt to rekindle what was lost is fascinating. Through the use of dialogue choices, the game gives you control of what Hiroki decides as his destiny. This can lead to some really intriguing moments throughout this 6-hour experience. The story also manages to emulate a similar style to the older black and white samurai films such as Yojimbo and The Hidden Fortress, taking some interesting twists and turns along the way. On the other hand, the gameplay mechanics, whilst initially being fairly interesting, do feel quite stiff, especially in the various boss encounters. Opting for a side-scrolling approach to the combat and a 3D style to the open exploration does help to break the game up a little, but unfortunately, this is where the problems start to show through. Trek to Yomi suffers from being overly repetitive, as most of the enemies you face can be defeated in the exact same manner. With the aforementioned stiff controls, this meant that some of the extended combat sections became quite tedious. For example, to do a proper combo attack, you have to stop moving to deliver quicker strikes. This is because if you continue to move forward toward an enemy whilst attacking, Hiroki will instead attempt a slow thrust which constantly leads to you being open to your opponent's strikes. This may not sound like a big issue until you start facing enemies that are constantly backing off from you. It really does make some of these encounters infuriating, especially when you are facing off against more than one opponent. The exploration portions of this game weren't too expansive either. Despite having many optional paths to take throughout the various levels, most would just lead you to a side room which would have a collectible and some ammunition. Being that there is plenty of ammunition along the main path anyway, this makes these side paths really only worth it if you want to get all the collectibles. But the collectibles don't feel very rewarding to find either, as they are almost always in plain sight. They even flash white to show you exactly where they are. This really takes the thrill out of collectible hunting. Trek to Yomi will occasionally impede your path by presenting you with a puzzle in order to continue. Whilst this may seem great in concept, as it could help to break up the exploration sections, it is anything but. Instead, the game displays a few written characters on the screen in one environment, and then requires you to choose the correct 3 characters you just saw on a dial to continue. These puzzles do not add any challenge or intrigue. Instead, they just end up becoming a frustrating setback. Another big high point in Trek to Yomi is its visual design. As previously mentioned, the black and white aesthetic blended together with a film grain, which can be toggled on or off, really gives off those 1950s samurai film vibes. The character designs are also absolutely stunning and are much more detailed than expected, which was honestly a little surprising given the style of game. Also, the level of detail in each environment is so rich. The devs have really done well to present this title in such a way that I wanted to press on a little while longer despite my issues with the gameplay just to see more. So, should you play Trek to Yomi? Well, it depends. It is a really mixed bag. The narrative is intriguing and the art style is definitely eye-catching. However, the lackluster gameplay will really hinder any desire to see the story through. Do you agree with our review? What is your opinion on Trek to Yomi? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video.